So I've been testing out all of the new drugstore launches. I filmed a couple of videos testing them on camera for the first time, so you can kind of see my thought process as I tried them out and I shared my first impressions. But I've also been testing them off camera for the last few weeks, really wearing them all day long alongside of products I know work well in different combinations, so I can see if the products perform well, if they wear well, and honestly, if they're worth the money. If you're new to my channel, my name is Andrea. I love trying out drugstore makeup. I've been such a drugstore fan ever since I really got into makeup years and years ago. And on my channel, I really try to share the pros and the cons of each product so you can decide if the product is worth your money. I mean, I don't really take these reviews lightly. I know some of you purchase products based on my recommendations, and I definitely want to make sure you have all of the information possible. I know a lot of you are trying to be a little bit more selective about your purchases in 2025, so I want my reviews to give you all of the information you need so you can decide whether or not the product will work for your skin type, your preferences. So I hope this video is helpful. I'll put timestamps in the description box, or you can just slide along the little bar on the bottom if you want to jump ahead or skip certain products. But I have 15 different products to share with you. I really love some of these formulas. I think these are going to be some of the best launches we see in 2025, but there were also products that I wasted my money on, and I don't want you to do the same, so I'll be sure to share those with you in today's video as well. Okay, let's kick it off with some big fails. These are definitely the worst products I tried over the last few weeks. I will differentiate if I purchased the products or got them in the mail as PR. You know what? I think I actually purchased all of these products except one or two. I did get these in the mail as PR, but please know, if you're new to my channel, I will share my honest review either way. They sent these to me and I still don't like them. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. These are the Jelly Blush Lip and Cheek Stains. So these retail for $8 each. They come in 3 different shades. This is definitely an interesting product. So I never tried the Milk Makeup version of this product that I assume Revolution Beauty is trying to dupe or create an affordable alternative of. So I can't say for sure if this is an exact dupe. If you've tried both, please let us know what you think. But if it is a dupe or a very, very similar product, I'm glad I didn't spend my money on the Milk Makeup version because I just don't like this product. This is a multitasking product, so you can actually use it on the lips or the cheeks. So let's start with the way it wears on the lips. It goes on nicely. It's kind of like this cooling jelly type feel. So as you apply it to the lips, it feels a little bit refreshing. It dries down super quickly, which is kind of nice because you can apply it and be on the go in just a few seconds. It does leave a really pretty stain, and you can start off very light or build it up a little bit, but it gives you like that kind of like popsicle looking stain, and I think it's really soft, really gorgeous. It does feel pretty dry on the lips, so I usually end up topping it with a gloss or a lip balm just so it's a little bit more comfortable. Unfortunately, the stain doesn't last a really long time. I would say maybe like 2 or 3 hours at the most, which is kind of weird because it actually lasts really well on the cheeks. So that is one pro for this product. If you're wearing this on the cheeks, it does leave behind a stain, and I feel like it stays in place pretty much all day long. The issue is because of the texture or the type of product it is, I feel like it's hard to blend it out to get an even stain. I think the most ideal way is to probably use a brush and apply it directly to the brush and then gently stipple it on, or you could even do the same thing with a sponge. But if you're applying this directly to the cheek and then blending it in with a brush, it's not going to look super even, and then it's going to lift all of your foundation underneath. Because it does dry down almost instantly, there really isn't a lot of time to work it into the skin. And for me, I just feel like I need a little bit of extra time to actually blend it. It doesn't move. Once I apply it on my cheek, it's kind of stuck in that area. So I just feel like it's a little bit difficult to work with. It's an interesting product. I'm glad I tried it because even though I didn't purchase the Milk Makeup version, I've been curious about this. We saw it all over social media. I think it was back in the summer. People were talking about it nonstop. And in the end, I think it's, you know, a fun idea, but the actual application, the wear time, the way it feels on the lips and the cheeks just is not ideal. On top of all of that, the packaging is faulty. When I opened it up, the actual blush just like came right out, and this happened with both shades I own. It's still usable. If you pop it back in, you can still roll it up and roll it down, but you know, for even $8, I just think it should be better than that. You shouldn't have to deal with the product breaking. I did test out quite a few new e.l.f. launches, and there were some really great products, but I also had a couple of big fails. This one is the Microfine Brow Pen. I was so excited about this, and it's, you know, not necessarily the most interesting release they've done in 2025 so far, but I use a brow pen every single day. And my issue with a lot of brow pens is that they're super pigmented. The actual product comes out pretty fast. So a softer brow pen and a microfine tip sounded absolutely perfect to me. Anyway, this one just did not work for me, unfortunately. So it retails for $7 and it comes in 7 different shades. Now, to be fair, they do market this as a pretty natural looking product. So that's something to keep in mind as I'm sharing my experience with this. If you want something that is incredibly natural looking, then you might actually like this product. But I do feel like there's something kind of wrong with the packaging because it doesn't feel like the product actually saturates the tip enough. You can shake this product for 60 seconds. You can leave it stored upside down, or I guess I should say that's what I did, and I still didn't have any luck with it. And some of you told me the same thing. Although I did read a couple of comments from you guys saying once you left it upside down, it did work a little bit better. So maybe again, it's faulty packaging. Some of them work, some of them don't, or maybe the expectations are a little bit different. So I personally don't recommend it. There are so many brow products out there. My favorite brow pens from the drugstore are Milani and NYX. Milani is a little bit more subtle than NYX, but NYX has a way better shade range than Milani and even better than e.l.f. Okay, I really put this e.l.f. primer to the test. I wanted it to work for me, and I don't really know why. I think it's just because it's such an interesting concept. It's their Power Grip Matte Primer. It definitely feels like a sticky primer. It almost has a gluey texture, kind of similar to the new NYX Glue Primer, but it does dry down and leave your skin looking more matte. It's not the most mattifying primer I've ever tried, but anyway, once this dries down, even though your skin looks more matte, it also has a little bit of like a tacky feel to it, which is just, it's interesting. It's not something I've experienced from other primers before. The issue with this product is sometimes my makeup will wear really well and then sometimes it won't. It doesn't work well with a lot of foundations, and when it does work well, it works really well, but I just don't know until I actually have my makeup on and I'm going throughout my day whether or not my makeup is going to look good or if it's going to look bad. So once I've tested it with the foundation and it does wear well, then I kind of know, but it's just like such a finicky product. Sometimes my makeup applies evenly, sometimes it looks patchy, sometimes it ends up breaking apart faster, sometimes it looks smooth. And it's just one of those products that just, it's kind of difficult to work with. I feel like you have to really apply this evenly on your entire face rather than targeting certain areas, because if you only target certain areas like your T-zone, it will tend to break apart in the area where the primer meets your skin, where you haven't primed. It's definitely an interesting concept. I like when brands do something a little bit different, but truthfully, I would recommend sticking with the original Power Grip Primer. Just know that that one is incredibly hydrating. It looks very, very glowy. Or if you want a true matte finish, go with the Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. Even though that doesn't have a gripping type texture, it does extend the wear of your makeup really well. And I've said before, like whether I'm wearing the Power Grip or the Liquid Poreless Putty Primer, my makeup tends to wear in a very similar way. Obviously, one side is glowy and one side is matte, but at the end of the day, my foundation will be in place just as great on either side. So I would just recommend sticking with one of those depending on the finish you want and skipping over this. I just think it's too difficult to work with and you never know what the end result will be. Let's talk about a few new products from e.l.f. that I absolutely loved. Now, this is a product that I think you're going to love or hate depending on your personal makeup preferences. So I don't want to say run out and buy this because there is a chance a lot of you won't like the end result, but I do think this is a very beautiful powder. It's the Halo Glow Powder Filter. So this retails for $14. That's pretty pricey for an e.l.f. product, especially an e.l.f. powder, because their powders tend to be pretty affordable. I think their Halo Glow loose powder retails for $8, or at least it used to, unless they raised the price. A lot of you were asking me if the pressed version was basically the same formula as the loose version, obviously just in a pressed format, and it's really not. These actually look a lot different on the skin, and I really wouldn't use them in the same way at all. The loose version is incredibly light. Over the years, I've said multiple times, it reminds me a lot of like the Hourglass loose powder. So a lot of you are saying, oh, does this feel like the Hourglass pressed powders? But again, it doesn't. It's a completely different product. So even though they have a similar name, they're kind of in the same line, they definitely don't feel or perform the same, at least to me. This almost reminds me a little bit of the e.l.f. powder foundation, just a thinner, more luminous version. It's a really gorgeous powder, and honestly, I haven't tried a lot of powders that leave my skin looking glowy unless they're infused with like a lot of shimmer, but mine doesn't have any shimmer in it. I've heard a few people say this looks shimmery on the skin. I don't think it looks shimmery on the skin, but it definitely looks glowy, which is what makes it so unique. So the first time I tried this product, I actually set my concealer and like my entire face with it. And I'll include a clip. My skin looked very, very glowy. I had some other products on that would maybe add to that a little bit, but you can see like it's definitely not a flat matte powder by any means. Because it is a glowy powder, I do think throughout the day it tends to enhance large pores and texture. And if you deal with breakouts or you prefer like more of a smoothing, almost perfecting powder, you might not like it for that reason. And I've found that I personally don't like to use it as an actual setting powder, either for my concealer or my foundation. But as a finishing powder or to set like the perimeter of my face, it's absolutely beautiful. So rather than using, I don't have any brushes in front of me. Rather than using like a velour puff or like a dense brush to set my makeup, I prefer using a fluffy brush and just kind of swirling it around, tapping off all of the excess and lightly setting my makeup around the perimeter. And that looks amazing on the skin because it just gives your skin a light, soft glow. Anyway, if you have normal or dry skin and you like the idea of a glowy powder, this could be a great setting powder for you. Again, I haven't tried anything like this. Some of you have said that you wonder if it's similar to the Huda Beauty Glowish powder, which I unfortunately never tried. But if you have tried them both, let us know what you think in the comments below. This does come in 14 different shades. I would say it's a little bit darker than I initially thought based on the online photos. I got the shade light neutral, and on my skin, it's maybe just like a shade too dark. Like I might go one shade lighter if I do end up repurchasing this in the future. So just something to keep in mind. I did see this in person at Target if you prefer to shop in store rather than online. The other new launch that I absolutely love from e.l.f. is actually a skincare product, but you could use it as a makeup product, a primer, or a mix-in. There are a couple of different ways to use these. They are the Holy Hydration Thirst Burst Drops. I did a dupes video recently. I'll link it below if you want to check it out. And I did compare it to the Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dew Drops from Glow Recipe. I find them to be very similar. They have similar ingredients, similar claims. The textures and the way they look on the skin are almost identical. So if you like that product and you use it up, you might want to consider trying this product instead of automatically repurchasing the Glow Recipe version. Now, the big difference is the Glow Recipe one smells like watermelon. This one doesn't. So if you don't like that about Glow Recipe, you might actually prefer this product. Anyway, they say that it's a gel serum that you can use as an actual primer. You can mix it in with your foundation. I really like mixing it with a bronzing drop just to add glow and a little bit of warmth to my skin. I feel like that is the perfect way to use it. Or you could just use it as part of your skincare routine if you want a super hydrating kind of gel serum product. So it does have 5% niacinamide to brighten up the skin. They also have what they call a 1% hydrating hibiscus complex, and it also comes with hyaluronic acid in it. So I do find it to be incredibly hydrating, but not greasy. It gives your skin a very beautiful glow. It feels good. It's not sticky. It definitely leaves my skin feeling refreshed, super hydrated throughout the day. And I just think it's a very, very high quality product. They absolutely nailed this formula. So if you need some hydration in your skincare routine, I think you'll like this. And honestly, like the entire Holy Hydration skincare line really is a great option if you're looking for affordable skincare. Let's stick with some complexion launches. So I almost skipped over this product. I'm so glad I didn't because it has become a true staple in my routine. I'm reaching for this almost every single time I do my makeup, and I'm going for more of like a quick, easy, natural look. It is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Skin Tint Stick. So this, again, is pretty pricey for a drugstore product. It retails for $16.99. So that price tag did hold me back a little bit. I think Milani seems to be going a lot higher with their prices these days. I have a couple of Milani products to review for you, and it seems like most of their products are like around the $16, $17 price point. Honestly, that's a lot. That is approaching more of a mid-range brand. It's not too far off from a brand like Rare Beauty or LYS Beauty, but I do think they have improved the quality of some of their new launches. I would say if that's too much for you when it comes to a makeup product, maybe wait for a sale. Ulta does their spring haul event, I think in March, and usually Milani, the entire brand or select products are like 30% off. And then if you do shop at Ulta, you can always use your points. They send out a lot of coupons. So it might be worth trying, but if you don't want to pay full price, you can end up getting these products on sale throughout the year. So just something to keep in mind. So this does come in 25 different shades. They do describe it as a buildable formula, which I would absolutely agree with. It does start off really light. And if you want like a true light natural finish, I would just blend it in with your fingers, buff it in with a brush or take a damp sponge. But you can easily build this up to more of a true medium coverage finish, and it looks great. It doesn't get cakey as you layer it. It does feel pretty moisturizing on the skin. It's interesting because they describe it as a soft matte finish. I would almost say it has more of like a natural satin finish. It's definitely not glowy, but if you use something super hydrating underneath or like a true glowy primer underneath, obviously it's going to look more glowy because it is a skin tint and it's a little bit more natural. Anything glowy underneath is going to shine through. So that is really nice, but you can also pair it with a matte primer, set it with powder, and you do get more of like a true matte finish as well. So definitely adaptable depending on the way you prep your skin and set your skin. It doesn't enhance dryness on me. It doesn't enhance texture. It actually wears well. I would say the only potential con is if you have very oily skin. This product is not going to stay in place as well as like a true long wearing foundation. So once summer rolls around, I don't know that this will be my absolute favorite formula for day to day because I might need something truly long wearing, but during the winter, it's been perfect for me. I did try out another skin tint. This one is from NYX. It is the Buttermelt Glaze Soft Glow Skin Tint. So this one does have SPF 30 and it comes in 10 different shades. It retails for $16, so pretty similarly priced to the Milani product. The Milani product does come with, where is it? 0.28 ounces, which sounds like a very small amount of product compared to the 1 fluid ounce you get in here, but it's pretty on par with other stick foundations. For whatever reason, they come with a lot less product. And I think it's because sometimes with a stick foundation, you end up using less, you don't go through them as fast, but that might be something you want to take into consideration if you're someone who kind of runs through stick products fast. I feel like I'll actually end up running through this pretty quickly because I've used a good amount of this already. So again, just something to note if that is something that matters to you. Anyway, some of the key ingredients in the NYX skin tint are shea butter, mango butter, and niacinamide. And again, it does have SPF 30. So I have the shade 2, which is vanilla bean butter. Honestly, I do think they could use more shades. It is meant to be a sheer formula, but it's not so sheer that I feel like it's super adaptable if you choose the wrong shade. This shade is a little bit dark on me. I don't know if one would be better or if it would be a little bit too light, but just based on my experience with this product, I don't think 10 shades would be enough. It might be most ideal to go in person and swatch this and see if you can figure out your shade that way, because it does matter. It's not so sheer that you can just be like, oh, I'll make it work for me. I do think choosing the right shade is still going to be the most ideal option. As for the formula, it is a very smooth formula that glides on beautifully. I actually like to apply this with my fingers, but sometimes I'll go over it with a brush just to get more of an even application. It does kind of remind me of the Tower 28 tinted sunscreen, but just slightly less glowy. I mean, there's definitely a glow to the skin, but it's not oily looking. The name, where'd it go? Buttermelt Glaze makes it sound like it's going to be super shiny. And there is, again, a glow there, but it's not over the top. So this product feels so good initially. Like, it's so buttery, it's so melty. It's just a really gorgeous formula that glides on the skin in the most beautiful way. But I will say, once I actually set it into place throughout the day, I notice it kind of clings to dry areas. For me, that's like mainly around my nose in this area right here. And I can see that pretty soon after setting it. And then if I have it on for a few hours, I feel like it kind of starts to break down on my chin. So it doesn't wear the best on me, especially not compared to the Milani skin tint, which really does wear so well throughout the day. And it's weird because this one does feel incredibly moisturizing. So you wouldn't expect it to enhance dryness, but that's been my experience. It's not so noticeable that I'm like, oh, stay far away from this product. I'll never wear it again. And if you don't set your makeup into place with powder, maybe you won't have the same experience. But I do find that, initially it looks so gorgeous. It just doesn't really stay that way throughout the day. So I like this product. I don't like it enough for it to become like a true daily staple like the Milani one. It just doesn't wear as well on my skin, but I do think it is a nice option if I'm like running out the door, if I don't need my makeup to stay in place all day long, because it is comfortable and it has sunscreen in it as well. I also picked up this product from NYX, the Lip IV Hydrating Lip Stain. So this product retails for $12. It comes in 16 different shades. They actually have a lot of gorgeous shades, and I think that's one thing that kind of sets this product apart compared to other glossy lip stains. So many brands will do like 6 shades and they'll all be in like the berry red toned family, whereas NYX did do berries and they did do reds, but they also did a ton of nudes, light nudes, medium tone nudes, and deep nudes. So that's what pulled me in, because I initially picked up the shade, or no, I think I ordered them at the same time, but I was most interested in Hydra Honey because I don't own any other glossy lip stains like this, and then I also got a red one too. So this feels really good as you initially apply it to the lips. It has like this thicker, glossy gel type texture, and again, that's one big advantage this product has compared to other glossy lip stains. It has more of an opaque finish as you initially apply it, and some other brands can tend to be a little bit streaky and too thin, so you have to really layer them up. Not this one. Like, the initial application is enough to get like a super even look, which I love. It kind of has like a cushiony feel because it is a little bit thicker. It's super comfortable. It definitely feels hydrating on the lips. Some of the key ingredients are magnesium, vitamin B12, and then coconut water to create that comfortable hydrated feel. These two shades don't perform the same, and I kind of had a feeling this would happen. The red one stains the lips really well, and it lasts pretty much all day long, just as well as any other glossy lip stain I've tried. Once that initial layer wears off, your lips are stained red, and it stays that way until you really, scrub your lips or remove it with a makeup remover. The lighter shade, the one that I was most excited about, really doesn't stain the lips very well at all. I would say I get like 3 hours of wear out of this, and then after 3 hours it's pretty much gone. So I was kind of disappointed in that, but the red one does work well. So I would say if you're picking this up and you're hoping for a long-lasting stain, definitely go with one of the brighter shades or one of the deeper shades. But it's weird because I still love this product. 3 hours of staining obviously is not the most ideal option, but I think 3 hours into wearing a product like this, I almost want to reapply it anyway so I can have that glossy layer back on my lips. So I don't mind reapplying this product like once or twice throughout the day because it is so comfortable, and that glossy formula is so beautiful. Like, I love the way this looks when I initially apply it. So I almost miss that glossy layer once it wears off. So I still like this, even though it doesn't perform in the way it's described or the way I expected. I'll definitely still continue to wear this. But if you're looking for the best results, like I said, go brighter, go deeper, and it will be a better option. That being said, if you have glossy stains in your collection, you could skip over it. It's not like a mind-blowing, super unique, super innovative formula. Milani's formula does stain better and lasts on the lips longer, so if you already own those, I would skip NYX. The only difference is Milani only has like 6 or 7 shades, and they're all reds and all berries. Speaking of Milani, I have a couple of other new launches from the brand that I've been testing out. This first one is the Stay Put Brow Mousse. It's their tinted brow color. This sounded really interesting to me, and honestly, I love this product, but I think there are going to be a ton of people that hate this type of product. So it really comes down to personal preference. If you're someone who needs something incredibly strong that locks your brows into place, whether you're combing them up or they're unruly and you just kind of want to tame them, this is not the product for you because it does not have a super strong hold. They don't really even claim that it is a super strong hold. They actually claim that it's meant to tame, build, and thicken the appearance of your brows. And I think that's exactly what it does. If you have sparse brows, if you have thin brows, and you want them to look thicker and fuller faster, this is a great product because just a couple swipes of this is going to create the appearance of really thick, full brows very, very quickly. Because of the texture, like it's this moussey texture, I find that it's really easy to apply to the brows. I love the NYX Thick It Stick It, like that's been a favorite of mine for years and years, but that's a very wet brow gel. So sometimes when I initially apply it, it gets super messy and then I have to wait for it to dry before I build it up and add more. Because this is almost like an airy, kind of dry leaning mousse, you can build it without waiting for it to dry between coats. So it's very quick, very easy to use. So if you're in a hurry, that really does come in handy. I just recommend scraping off all of the excess because when you initially pull it out of the applicator, there's a lot of product on there. So you do have to be careful in that way. So Milani launched a really gorgeous cheek product. This is the Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush and Glow. The first time I tried this out just a little while ago, I told you it reminded me a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter wand in the shade Pinkgasm, specifically the shade Cafe. And I do think it is an amazing alternative. I just mentioned it in my dupes video. It's not the exact same shade, but on the cheeks, once you blend it out, you really won't see a big difference. I absolutely love this product. I've tried my fair share of like blush wands, blush highlighter hybrids. A lot of drugstore brands have been doing products like this over the last few years, and this is absolutely my favorite. The price is a little bit lower compared to other new Milani launches. It's $12.99. It comes in 6 different shades. They basically claim that it's like a blush highlighter all in one. It's supposed to be buildable, blendable, and give you like a soft focus effect. It is so pretty on the cheeks. It's like the perfect amount of glow and color mixed together. I've said this in a couple of videos, but so many products like this end up looking too metallic, too glittery on the cheeks. And I think Milani created a very beautiful formula that gives you a glow without being too over the top. So I have this on today. I set it with powder. I'm wearing the shade Cafe, so you can't really tell, but you can see that my cheeks have a little bit of glow to them. I also have highlighter on as well, but I'll include a clip of me applying this so you can see what it looks like on the skin. It really is so stunning, and it definitely feels like the closest formula to Charlotte Tilbury I've personally tried, but I even like this better because it's a little bit easier to sheer out, and then you can slowly build it up too. It's very long wearing. Once I set this into place, it does not move. Like by the end of the day when I go to wash my face, the color is still there, which is amazing, especially for a liquid blush. So I highly recommend trying these out. The only con that I could think of is that these might be a little bit too subtle if you want something super intense. But I think they maybe have a deeper shade, like a true berry or like a purple tone that might give you a little bit more color payoff if that's what you're looking for. But I personally do like a softer cheek product that I can slowly build up. And these would also be really pretty as highlighters too, depending on what you typically go for. Okay, I think this is the last Milani product for now. I only purchased one of these. I could not decide which shade to get because there are a lot of beautiful colors. It is the Keep It Full Glossy Plumping Balm. So this does come in 12 different shades. It retails for $15.99, which is pretty pricey for a click up or twist up glossy stick, especially from the drugstore. Pretty much every brand has done them at this point, and I think most of them are $10 or under. So last year I tried NYX, e.l.f, and ColourPop, and I might even be missing a few in there. I think there's one from Hard Candy that I tried. There's a lot. Like every brand has done them at this point. And I would say out of all of the formulas, this one is the most balmy. Like it's a gloss balm, truly. A lot of formulas kind of lean in the lipstick direction and you get more intense color payoff and they're a little bit thicker. I like that this one is so balmy and really glossy on the lips because it's very, very comfortable and it feels nourishing both while it's on the lips and even once it wears off. So I do think it is a gorgeous formula. But at the same time, $16 for a twist up glossy stick just feels very expensive if you're comparing it to other drugstore options. It's a pretty sheer formula, at least this shade I have. I have the shade, where is it? I think it's just Honey. Yeah, I have the shade Honey, and this doesn't have like a ton of color payoff. It's really pretty, and I will definitely continue to wear it, but I don't think I will end up purchasing additional shades because like I said, it's pretty expensive for what it is. My favorite like click up glossy stick at the drugstore would be the ColourPop one. That one leans more in the direction of a gloss. If you want something that has more pigment, I would say go with NYX or e.l.f. Obviously, it depends on which color you get because some are sheer, some are richer. But I do think, you know, it's a nice formula. It's just, there are so many other options out there at this point. So if you own glossy sticks from any of those brands or even high-end brands like Tarte or Makeup by Mario, I don't think you need to run out and buy this. I have a few other lip products, so I wanted to share my updated thoughts on the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oils. I'm wearing one today. I have the shade Crystal Baller on. I do have a little bit of lipstick underneath, and then this is on top. I like these so much more than I thought I would, and I bought these last year before I decided to go on my lip oil no-buy, and I'm glad I did because honestly, they're different than any other lip oil I have in my collection. Obviously, e.l.f. has the original Glow Reviver Lip Oil line. Those don't have any shimmer in them, and then they came out with another version that has shimmer or glitter mixed in. They They're different. So I have 2. I have Crystal Baller and then I also have Choco Luxe. Choco Luxe is not as shimmery on the lips as Crystal Baller. Crystal Baller is pretty intense. If you wear it alone or wear it over lipstick, like you can still see all of that shimmer, but it's so pretty. I did not expect to like it this much because normally I stay away from super shimmery lip products. And I don't know, this formula has me thinking that maybe I do really like them. It just makes the lips look so shiny, so pretty. I do think this formula feels different than the original, and I said that last year when they launched like the limited edition watermelon one that had shimmer in it. It's not as glossy. Like the other ones look super juicy, very wet looking. They almost feel a little bit thinner. These are not quite as, they're just not quite as thin. They're a little bit thicker and they don't have the same scent. These smell kind of weird. These have like a minty scent, but it's combined with something else. There's almost like a little bit of like a plant scent in there. It's like mint combined with a plant. It's like a medicinal quality. I can't quite place it. It's not a great scent. I guess they are just still like overpoweringly minty scented, which I don't love. And that could be a big con for you if you don't like that either. But they look so, so pretty. I really think they look amazing, both on their own or over lipstick. So they have me convinced that maybe I do like glittery, shimmery lip products. And, you know, I wouldn't say you need to run out and buy these if you have a ton of lip oils like me. But if you're someone who is a fan of shimmery or glittery lip products, you might like these more than the original if you're contemplating which one to go with. As for cons, I will say as this product starts to wear off, you lose like the shiny lip oil look and then the glitter particles are left behind. So when I'm wearing this on its own, it doesn't look that great after like an hour or two because my lips are no longer shiny, but there's like random glitter all over my lips. So that is not something that I personally love. If I'm wearing it over a lipstick or a lip liner, it's not as noticeable. But if you're wearing it on its own, like you might tend to do with a lot of other lip oil formulas, you're left with like super sparkly lips, but like no shine. Okay, 2 more lip products. These ColourPop lip balms are so good. Again, I did my dupes video, and at this point, you're probably like, why am I going to watch it? Because I've already talked about all the dupes in this video as well. But these are an exact dupe to the Summer Fridays lip butter balms. I don't say that lightly because I feel like to be an exact dupe, it has to match up in every single category: packaging, application, color, texture, longevity. But these really do. And when I compared the ingredients side by side, they were actually so similar. So if you like the Summer Fridays lip butter balms, if you've wanted to try them but you want a more affordable alternative, check these out. You will not be disappointed in them. They have, I think, like 8 different shades. Some of them match up with a Summer Fridays lip balm. Like there's a chocolate one, there is a vanilla one, there's a cherry one, but ColourPop also has some that Summer Fridays doesn't offer, like strawberry milk. I cannot get enough of this one. A few years ago, I wanted like everything watermelon scented, and this year I feel like I want everything strawberry scented. So this has been my go-to, but they're great. Super glossy, very nourishing, very pretty on the lips. They feel good, they smell good. Like everything is the exact same as it is with Summer Fridays. For me, I feel like a lot of CoverGirl mascaras are good, but they're not great. Like they don't become a staple for me where I want to like run out and repurchase it as soon as I use it up. Again, I kind of have similar feelings about this product. It is the Lash Blast Super Cloud Mascara. So it claims to lengthen and lift the lashes, and it's supposed to have a weightless feel. I definitely think it lives up to the claims. I noticed that my lashes are long and they are lifted. It's a super lightweight mascara, so it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't weigh them down. Some of the key ingredients are vegan collagen, vitamin B5, and amino acids. So it is supposed to be a little bit more conditioning. I like it for more natural makeup days. I'm not always the biggest fan of like the most subtle lashes. And, you know, sometimes I'll go in with like one swipe of mascara, but even if I'm wearing really natural makeup, I usually like to build my lashes up just a little bit. So this is nice on those days because it is a little bit more natural looking than a lot of other formulas I typically go for. So I've used this quite a bit. I like how it adds a good amount of volume, but it also lengthens. So many mascaras just do one or the other, and a nice all-in-one mascara really is a great option. So it wears well, it feels good, there's no flaking, no smudging. So all of that sounds amazing, but is it going to be my go-to mascara? Is it going to replace the ones that I currently have on rotation? It's not. As much as I do enjoy using this, once I finish it up fully, I don't plan on repurchasing it. If it came in a light brown, I think I would buy it in that shade because it is a little bit more natural. I feel like a softer brown would be perfect, but it only comes in black. So I'll keep my eye on it. And if they do end up doing additional shades, I might grab it. But it's good. If you like something super weightless, you might enjoy it. I just don't think it's anything super special, really spectacular. It's not going to be a repurchase for me personally. The last CoverGirl product is something that I actually really, really love. This is the TruBlend Skin Enhancer Luminizer. So I have the shade Jelly Opal Glow, but they also have a deeper shade that's more of a bronzy product. So I'll put a picture on the screen so you can see what it looks like. This is a very, very beautiful formula. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Say Glowy Super Gel, but maybe a little bit more subtle. It has like that super lightweight feel. So as you blend it into the skin, it feels good. And because it is so lightweight, it's not going to feel heavy underneath makeup. Or if you wear it on its own, it's great because it has like that weightless, barely there feel. It is a very moisturizing formula. It's made with 15% glycerin, 2% squalane to really hydrate the skin, and you can feel it. It feels so good when you apply it. And I feel like it's been nice during the winter when I can deal with a little bit of dryness, but it also gives you the perfect amount of glow. I actually love wearing it with a skin tint like this product from Milani because it actually shows really well under this. If you're wearing a foundation on top, like I'm wearing this today, and then I have my Catrice foundation on top, you're not going to notice the glow as much because it is a little bit more subtle. So if you tend to go higher coverage with foundation, you might not want to spend your money on this because you're not really going to see it. It still feels good underneath makeup, but you're not going to get like the true glow to shine through, as well as you would if you were using it with something lighter. I would say in that case, just stick with like the e.l.f. Halo Glow if you already own that, or something a little bit more intense. But if you love a hydrating, lightweight, glowy primer, this is stunning. Like I cannot get enough of it. And it's also so beautiful on days where I'm not wearing foundation. So those are all of the products I wanted to review for you in today's video. I hope it was helpful if you were considering any of these products. If you have any questions or there's something I didn't cover in today's video, just leave a comment below and I'll definitely get back to you. If you want to see the videos where I initially tried these products, I'll link them on the screen for you. I'll definitely be back to share some more reviews as drugstore brands and even high-end brands end up launching more products over the next few months. But thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.